Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to share a tutorial on how to alter the waistline on a pair of jeans or shorts. The shorts I have on here fit me nicely through the thighs and through the butt. However, the waist gaps a little bit, especially in the back, and it's much more noticeable when I bend over or sit down. So I just want to adjust that so it lays more flat against my body. What I'm going to do is put these shorts on, and at the center back seam, I'm going to pinch the fabric together so that it lays snugly against my body. Not too tight, just enough that it's up against my body. And then I'm going to use a piece of tailor's chalk, and I'm gonna mark on either side where I pinched. You could also do this with washable marker if you want, but because my shorts are black, the white chalk is going to show up better than a marker. Next, take your shorts off, lay them down, and measure between these two lines. On me, it's a 3.5 inch space. Now grab your seam ripper, and we're gonna rip just the top of the belt loop away, and then we're going to seam rip several inches on either side of center, on both the bottom and the top stitching of the waistband. Here's what that looks like. Turn the shorts inside out, and now I'm going to make my two darts. My original measurement is 3.5 inches. I need 2 darts, so divided by 2 equals 1.75 inches for each of my darts. I want them each above the back pocket, so I'm just eyeballing the center of each pocket and making a mark, and then just measuring out a space that is 1.75 inches. Right sides together, pinch the darts together, lining up the markings, and pinning the dart like this. Then I'm going to take the chalk and draw a line at a diagonal from my top marking down to my desired point. I'm taking mine to the top of the existing seam and then repeating on the other side. Then at the center back, we're going to cut the waistband. This is because we need to adjust the waistband the same amount that we adjusted our shorts with the darts. So pin the back waistband right sides together. And the front waistband right sides together. Here's what that looks like. And now we're ready to sew. I'm using a heavy duty needle because denim is a heavy duty fabric. The first thing to sew is the front and back waistband. So I'm sewing these at a 1.75 inch seam allowance. Again, this is half of my original measurement of 3.5 inches. And I'm trimming down the seam allowance to about 1/2 inch. Now we can sew the darts. Sew along the chalk line from the top of the dart down to the bottom. And here's what that looks like. Open up the waistband seams and place the front and the back waistband together, matching the seams like this so everything lays nice and flat. Then stitch the top of the waistband back together, trying to sew along the original stitch line. Okay, the top is sewn back together. Now we have to tuck the shorts back up into the waistband and sew it shut. I sped the video up, but I'm really taking my time and doing my best to sandwich the shorts into the waistband, being sure to line up the front and back waistbands and the shorts' original stitch line, and then trying to stitch in the ditch of the original seam. I'm also making sure that my darts are both facing towards the center of my shorts. Okay, now all we have to do is stitch the belt loop back to the waistband, You can either do this with your machine or by hand. The fabric is so thick that my home sewing machine struggled to sew this even with a heavy duty needle. So my workaround for this was to manually turn my hand wheel to stitch this back down. Alternatively, you could hand sew this. And after it's all said and done, here's what the shorts look like taken in. For comparison, here's a before on the left and an after on the right. Here's my two seams here. I stopped at this seam here because I was worried about trying to sew through multiple layers of fabric, but I could have actually tapered these down into the top of my pockets if the seam wasn't here. But this is so much better, especially when I sit down. Alright friend, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to hit the like button so I know to make more videos like this one in the future. And if you want to keep up with future videos, please be sure to subscribe. I actually plan to use this exact method that I used today on these shorts in my next video, where I upcycle a pair of ill-fitting jeans into these adorable shorts. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!